This is the first time we're going to look at how to use the imaginary number I. And so they just define the square root of -1. They gave it a name or its own little symbol. They just call it lowercase I, kind of like 3.1415, on and on is pi. They just call this I. At first it seems like a pointless distinction when you first see it. Okay, I'm going to rewrite this somehow. But later on it actually becomes a really powerful tool to deal with imaginary numbers, and lots of great properties work out. But for right now, all we care about is it lets us do something with negative square roots. So the very first thing is all the rules we know about roots only hold for positive roots. And so before you do any multiplying, dividing, reducing, anything, you have to pull the I out. And so what this allows you to do is think of -10 as square root of -1 times square root of 10. And we have a name for this. It's I. So I could rewrite this as I square root of 10. So then if I needed to do something with square root of 10, maybe it'd be easier because now I'm dealing with a positive square root. The whole thing is an imaginary number because it's an imaginary number I times square root of 10. All right, so let's try it down on this one. So negative on the outside doesn't affect it, right? But on the inside, this is -1 times square root of 48. But also I think I can reduce square root of 48 because 48 is the same as 16 times 3. So this I have a special name for. And be careful, the negative on the outside is still there. Nothing's happening with that. So I have a negative on the outside. Square root of -1 I call I. And this is all multiplied by each other, right? Square root of 16 is 4. So negative I times 4 times square root of 3. And then usually if you can, they put the coefficients out front. It just looks nicer. But this and this are absolutely equivalent to each other. Just you don't have to put the times in there. It's like 3x, right? We don't write x times 3, we write 3x because it looks nicer. So pulling the I out, I is equal to the square root of -1.